Hello friends and welcome back to Tier Tyrant. Today we will be ranking the different Elden Ring bosses by Dateability. This includes the base game and also the DLC bosses. Now I know there are some weird ones in there, like different dragons and like the Regal Ancestor spirit. Probably some of them will end up in the no tier. Other than that, it's gonna be more like a hear me out cake, most likely, like the ones you can see on TikTok. But other than that, this is our tier list. S tier for the very best, S tier is very good, A tier is also good, B is okay, C is more basic, like the average, D is kind of bad, F is bad, no tier is just the no tier. In the no tier at the moment, we have Astel, we have the Regal Ancestor Spirit, the Scadutree Avatar, and Miquella. I'm just using like the Consort Radahn Remembrance as the one for Miquella, as we do also have him down here again. Now the one recommendation I got in the last video is a Just Friends tier. I don't think I'll be using it this video, as Miquella is too young for me to consider him any higher in the dating tier, but he's also too manipulative to be in the Just Friends tier, so we'll be putting him in the no tier. But I guess let's just get started, starting off with Bayle as per the alphabet, ending at Romina. Now, Bayle the Dread. Bayle is a dragon, and a very angry one at that, with his whole going against Dragon Lord Placidusax, being like, I guess he's not a dragon, he's a drake, I think it said. So we'll just have to go off as from vibe. You know, there's not much too much personality we got from him. Seems like a angry person, you know. I don't know, I guess he kinda did screw over Egon really well, like destroying all his limbs and that kind of stuff. But you know, if you were dating him, I don't feel like he'd do that to you. Like, he'd be angry, he'd be the kind of boyfriend that punches hole in the wall when something annoys him. You should not let him meet your parents, for example. I feel like he'd argue with them over the smallest thing. Can't imagine him being too loving either, you know. Don't think he'd bring you flowers or anything. It's like, maybe you imagine him as like the tough guy, he's acting tough to others, being a sweetheart with you. I don't think that's this guy. I think he'll also just act like the tough bastard that he is with you. So I think he'll be going into the D tier. Not the F. I don't think he'd like kill you. Maybe, if he's really pissed. But I don't know, in overall, he's just bad in dateability, I'd say. Next, we got the Dancing Lion. Now, the Dancing Lion is a bit harder, because if you look at the avatar model, I'll just put in a picture, there's like two guys in there, and I don't know what their deal is. Like, do they always wear the costume? Or maybe they'll take it off, look a bit more human, you know? But I guess for the sake of this, we'll say they'll multitask, mostly the lion, take it off somehow. Look nice, flexible, if you know what I mean. I feel like you'd be the third wheel though. You know, even if they're just good friends, both of them dating you like the guys in there, I feel like they do more couple shit together than they would with you. So you'd always feel like left out. Also not too much lore where I can really base it off personality. Probably train a lot, their whole routine. I'll put them, I guess, C tier, you know. Maybe it'll work somehow. Probably won't really. I don't know if you'd get into an actual relationship with them. But you know, they also would like punch holes in the wall like Bayle. Then we got the Elden Beast. Now the Elden Beast, I don't know if we should just put it in the no tier. I mean, It's a vessel of the Great Will from what I remember. Yeah, it's just kind of there. You fight it, not much to know about it. I think we'll actually just also add it to like the note here. There isn't too much to say about it. Then we will have the Fire Giant. Now the Fire Giant is definitely more human, so we can rank him no problem. Last of his race from all the others kind of getting murdered. So there's some trauma in the guy. He does also kind of like sacrifice his legs to like awake his like eye on his chest. So like he's not too mentally stable, I would say. Other than that, he's really tall, you know. So if you want taller people, go ahead. Maybe he's a bit too tall for you. I feel like some people would still like that. But other than that, I mean, he lives in the mountains. It's gonna be cold there. But he's kind of always warm, you know. Well, he won't. I feel like he tried to like bring you flowers or something. But he just straight up wouldn't succeed. He'd burn it on accident. Like he's kind of like the empty-headed boyfriend, you know? Does his best, does it wrong, or fail at it. But he wouldn't be that bad. I think we'll just put him in B. You know, these people at the start, they don't... Like, I'm just going off vibe, so if you'd place him any differently, just let me know. Because I'd actually be interested in that. Then we have Fortisax. Also a dragon, like Bayle, but a way better dragon. Quick recap on his lore. You know, back then in the fight versus Leyndell, Godwyn the Golden, which I just noticed isn't in here, so I guess no, he's not a boss, we won't add him. Or maybe a yes to anyway. Basically, Godwyn defeated him in battle when he attacked Leyndell, but they became good friends, also taught the guy some spells, etc. And then later on, when Godwyn got more or less assassinated by the Black Knives, he apparently also fought against death in his friend, and also kind of got afflicted with it in the process. So basically, he's a good friend, alright? He gave like everything. He had to defeat him first, but that's fine. So I feel like he'd actually be a good partner. Like, he cared about Godwyn. Let's just say you don't need to defeat him in battle first. You know, he gave his life for him. He opened the door for you. So it doesn't really fit together, but like, you know, it kind of leads to that. Take care of you, protect you, probably do most of the things you say, teach you some cool spells. I feel like he'd be a solid boyfriend. I don't know if we can put him too high, because we also don't know too much personality-wise. And he is also a dragon who won't be doing the human form. Or say that there is one. Yeah, I think A tier's nice. We'll keep him there. Now, Commander Gaius is a more, I guess, a better one than the others we've seen so far, as in we know more about him. He's an Albinauric, so one of those weird grey creatures, but he's actually got some info. He's a noted warrior, he was a military strategist, he studied gravitational magic together with Radahn, he also befriended Messmer. And like, they apparently both acted like older brothers to Radahn, who he had a friendly rivalry with, so he's more lore invested than you actually would figure out from like playing the game. He's got no legs, so that's how he became friends with Messmer, because they were both kind of, you know, kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much wrong with him, unless you're like against the Albinaurics. But like, we've put a dragon in the A tier, so I think he's actually a good choice. You know, I said a warrior, a strategist, friendly rivalry, acted like an older brother. And by the way, I'm not making this up. This is like from the Wikipedia page. I guess it's more like the Elden Ring fandom one, but I don't feel like they'd put wrong information on there. So he's really solid. I think maybe even yes tier. I don't think he has any flaws. He'd be a good boyfriend. He's got personality, he's got friends. He's also kind of trapped in the same region as Messmer, like not in the lands between above, but like that's fine. Other than that, we'd have to like put a lot of people lower. So yeah, Gaius is a really solid option. Bit unexpected, we'll take it. Next, we have Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. He was also tarnished at the start. Later on, married Queen Marika, had a few children. You know, if you're fine with stepchildren, you probably won't mind that much. I personally don't mind that much, I'd say. He's strong. He's also one of those angry ones like Bayle, but he's kind of got his line for that. So as a plus, you get a pet with him. Like the lion seems chill. Was it a lion or I think it was a lion, yeah. But yeah, other than that, you know, he had children. He seemed like a good father. I don't know if it's like just fandom lore, but apparently, unlike Marika, he actually cared about Morgot and Mogh. So you know, I think we give him S tier, a bit lower, because you know Marika may be a jealous ex, who knows? And he's a bit more angry without the line, but other than I think honestly, he could almost be like a low S. Like when you encounter him in battle the first time with him holding like Morgot's body. Like, he's just such a caring I think we put him in S tier, yes tier actually. You can argue and put him in just S, but I think he'll actually be one of the few yeses we have in this. Next on the list is Godrick the Crafted. Now he's got a lot of limbs, you know? I mean, he's a bit of a pussy for being honest. I mean, there's the whole lore thingy with, I think it was Malenia defeating him in battle, making him grovel for mercy. So if you're into that, like, he's probably higher. He's a bit of a fanatic, you know. He's got a bit of mental problems, like the whole worshipping Marika thing, following the Golden Order. Don't think he'd be too bad, but like he's definitely not an S tier either. I think we'll put him like similar to like the Fire Giant. I think more above, like low A or more higher B, almost A, I'd say. Because the one thing that puts him down from A is like all the limbs, you know, wanting to be better, having more of them. I feel like it'd be the same with you, you know. You'd be like, damn, only 2 arms, you know, I could give you 1 more, you'd be better. He can't like pressure you to also like craft those things onto you, so like, personally, not for me, so he'll be in B tier. Next we got Malenia, the Rot Goddess. Now Malenia is one of the harder ones, like out of the people so far, I'd argue she is, together with Godfrey I guess, because he is also human, one of the most good-looking ones. She is affected with the rot curse, but like that's not her fault. Most of the people in here have some kind of curse. I don't know if it can influence her ranking too much. She's a strong warrior, you know, having defeated Godrick, the stalemate with Radahn. I guess you could argue one of them won, but like, I'll just say it was a stalemate. Now she's a bit too much of a suck-up to her brother, I'd say. Like doing everything she can, everything he says, for like just staying at the tree. But you know, if you're fine with that, just having to more or less go with the flow, go wherever she goes, I feel like she could be a good partner. But there's also the thing, she has some daughters, you know. She doesn't really treat them that well, to the point where they don't know if she's the mother. I mean, the others probably do have like some children too, who just don't know that much about. But you know, I don't know if it could place her too high. I feel like she'd still be a good partner, you know, like take you out on dates. She'd like, no matter if you're the man or the, like if you're a man or a woman, I feel like she'd be the man in the relationship. I think we'll put her like low A, I say. And it just matters how much you care about like Miquella influencing her and her kind of being blind, I guess. But you know, if you're fine with living at the tree there and that kind of stuff, I think she wouldn't be too bad. We'll just say like low A, but I could also definitely understand it if you want to put her lower like C tier or so. Then we got Maliketh, the Black Blade. He is a furry, but we'll be ignoring that as we also place dragons. He is Marika's shadow. He's got destined death. He can murder everyone. So you know, he can definitely protect you. He's a good fighter. He seems chill in his like clergyman form. He seems nice. Bit in, like he's got a few screw loose, like the few times he attacks you. But other than that, I mean, I'd say he's average. I feel like it'd be more of a, like you'd be dating, but it'll be more of a friendship type thing. Like he wouldn't bring you flowers or anything or greet you with a kiss, but like he'd greet you, like just give you a little hug and you'd have a normal conversation. So I think we put him higher. C tier, so like above the dancing line, but not like B, with the two people that could actually like show romantic interest in you. Then we have Messmer the Impaler. Lots and lots of trauma, mommy issues also. So he's a bit unstable. Plus he's kind of got the snakes through his body, which personally I find kind of disgusting. But from what I've seen on like Tumblr, X-Reader stories and that kind of stuff, people do actually seem alright with it. Maybe even into it. I don't know. I did not like go into that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be too bad. I don't know if you like read too many Reddit stories, but like the mommy issue thing, if she like shows up or him, like if she say a bad thing about her, like it's over, you know. But other than that, he's also one of the more human ones. He's also more good battle in mind. I think there was a thing with Rellana, like kind of being into him, but he was just like, no, I gotta fulfill mother's duty, you know. So yeah, I don't know, he's hard to rank. Like him being like more human makes it also hard to like put him too low against like the other creatures we have in here. But, like he's got a few issues, but I think he'd also be a bit of a good partner. Like I guess you could say the mommy issue thingy is kind of like Malenia with Miquella situation, but I'd argue that it's worse, you know. Plus he's been locked down there, being forgotten, there's more trauma. I think we'll put him B tier, lower B tier though, because unlike Maliketh, it still would feel more like a romantic relationship, maybe a kiss here and there, but I don't think he'd be like as genuine or trying as like Godrick or the Fire Giant in here. I feel like I'm gonna get hate for this one. I feel like there's people who will be like he's S or yes tier even. But you know, the family situation is a bit too much for me personally. Next we have Metyr, the Mother of Fingers. She's also one of those more complicated situations, like the Elden Beast. She also just came from the stars. She gave birth to like the two fingers and later on they kind of creepy, screwed up ones, and like down below there. I mean, we'll just, I guess, put a note here. Like, there's not much personality wise, I guess, and like, she's kind of creepy with like the fingers and everything, so we'll just put a note here for now. Then next we have Midra. He's a bit of a, I mean, actually he's not one of the harder ones. It's just whether we want to look at him after his like ascension or like before when he was more normal. Because he's supposed to be like was a kind person. His people liked him being the Lord. He seemed like a chill person. So I guess we put him higher. Like, he seemed well liked. Just said the whole frenzied flame thing going on with his wife, Nanaya. But actually I do wanna, like, we've seen two theories. One where it's like Nanaya's like sent from the Three Fingers and tells him to endure the pain, so the frenzy would gather up enough and he'd actually become like Lord. And there's another theory where she's like kind of just a nice wife, you know. She's like, please endure the frenzied flame so he doesn't like release it, he doesn't become the Lord. I kind of want to know, what would you guys say? Is she the good wife, or is she kind of like the manipulator, kind of like Hayata, etc.? But no, enough about her. Let's just talk about Midra. He seems nice, as said. I don't see any flaws. He was well liked. He's kind of got that weird spear going through him. So he's definitely got some pain going on. But if you love him, you're gonna care about him, you know. You'll be like, hey, it's okay, take care of him, even if it probably grosses you out a bit seeing that thing's stuck in him. But I feel like he'd be a really good partner, just from, as said multiple times, but now people liking him enduring it so he doesn't release it. Like, he was in pain for so long just so he wouldn't ascend before he finally had to let go. Like, you know, that gives him an S tier, I'd say. Not yet, because, you know, the whole frenzied flame thing, plunging like more or less the land there in chaos. But he's definitely a solid S tier, I'd say. Then next we have Mogh. Mogh is one of those bit more also traumatized people. Just like Morgot, who we have next on, you know. Children of America, both kind of banished for not being human, but like being born with like a curse, being omens. So a bit of trauma there. He's the Lord of Blood. So this, you know, doesn't say the best about him, I would say. But you know, his followers, etc. Really? Like Vare, they really seem to like him, you know. So he can't be that horrible of a boss, you know. He's got this little mansion going on there. He does have the weird cocoon thing where he's like in love with Miquella. But that was kind of just, you know, a little spoiler, which I don't even know I need to say anymore. With Miquella controlling him, because he wanted to use Mogh's body for Radahn's soul to enter. So he probably was more of a alright person, I'd say. I feel like he'd actually be a good partner. Like, he takes really well care of like Miquella, you know, holding the hands. It's a bit creepy, but I feel like it translates him into being a good lover. So you know what, I think we can put him like an A tier. Not too much about him, like I said, also a bit of trauma, but I think I'd actually maybe not put him above like Fortisax, but I'd put him above Malenia, because there isn't like, we'll just say like the Miquella thing isn't happening with the cocoon. Let's just say you're sitting on the thingy, not in the cocoon, but like on the throne there, so it's just taking care of you. Then we have Morgot, just like Mogh, also banished because Omen. So a bit of trauma, good relationship with his dad, or at least his dad seems to care about him. He he seems like the most mentally stable, I'd argue. I feel like he'd also be a good lover. You know what? I'm sorry. Well, I think we'll put Mogh like lowest tier. I just kept thinking about whether to also put him like A or S. But, you know, I feel like Mogh could actually be a low S if he really loves you. Morgot, I think... Yeah, I mean, like I said, the most mentally stable. I feel like he's kind of similar to the Fire Giant. Only that he, like, really succeeds, you know? So he's, like, actually doing well in, like, taking care of you, etc. Getting you flowers. He's got the whole castle, you know? I think we'll put him in Mogh's old place, actually. Mogh's just higher because we've seen him be romantic and he'll succeed. Morgot's more on the end, so I see we put him on the similar level as Fortisax. Not below, also not that much above. I think that's a good place. Then we got... let's just hope I'm saying the name right. Placidusax. Now Placidusax is loyal, definitely. Like the whole lore thing, waiting for his god to return. So like you don't have to worry about him cheating. Bit of a grudge holder, you know, with like the Bayle thingy, or he sent like multiple other dragons after him, because, you know, Bayle kind of revolted against him, grievously wounding him. But, you know, he's also, you know, he waits, maybe a bit of a doormat, actually. Just waiting, not really doing much without his lord. I feel like he'd be a neutral kind of person, kind of like the Fire Giant, I guess. And like Godrick, you know. He's also a dragon again, which automatically moves him a bit lower. So I'll just say we'll put him like high B, you know. Nothing wrong with him, but also nothing too extraordinary, I'd say. Like he'll just be locked in his little place, waiting for his god the whole time, so you'd have to visit him and really go on dates. I don't know, I'm just kind of going off vibe here, so we'll just put him there. Now, the Pertruscent Knight, he's got no lore at all. He's just apparently made like from Saint Trina. Just kinda attacks you. Annoying to fight, let's be honest. I guess he'll just also go like into no tier. There's not much about the guy, so he'll just chill down there. Next we have Radahn. I mean, I think Radahn's a good option. I mean, he's always looking for a fight. He's kind of got a bit brain rotted by like Malenia's Scarlet Rot. But we'll just say that didn't happen, you know? Other than that, Godfrey, he really adored him. He had like an idol, what he wanted to be like. He had his horse. Apparently its name is Leonard or Leonard. I don't know if that's actually true, but I think I heard that somewhere. He learned gravitational magic just for the horse, so he could keep riding it. You know, honestly, I feel like he'd be a good lover, you know. He had a lot of loyal followers who really liked him. He's a solid option, especially, as said, if we ignore like the whole thing that happened after the battle. Like, he'd probably be absent a bit more often, because, you know, just going into war, going into battle. But, yeah, I think he's solid, you know. Like, I'm not aware of him also having like any problems with any of his siblings, etc. I just noticed Rani's not in here. Uh-oh. Okay, we'll just do Rani at the end. But yeah, he's a chill choice. I'll put him yes tier, you know. He spent so much time learning the magic for his horse. Like, imagine what he'll do to you. You can also imagine that, but like what he'll do for you is what I meant. Next we got Rellana. I mean, she's definitely getting a plus just from looks. Like, her fight looked beautiful with her two different, like, more or less moon and fire sword, or I guess you could argue sun. She's like the aunt of like a lot of people here. Didn't have any children. Apparently she was into Messmer, which, you know, kind of like, I guess you could say her like step nephew or something like that, which is a bit weird, I'd argue. But like, she was loyal. She went into combat there for him and just for him, you know. So she'll definitely be going with you. Maybe she's in a bit too deep. I feel like she'd also be a bit possessive. But I feel like everyone in this list would be. I don't think we can really judge her on that. I feel like she's just one that has it a bit more than the others. Don't know too much personality wise. I'm upset that she did not have an animation, like a cinematic when you entered her arena, like a bridge or like the tree burning down in the DLC had one. She did not. I say low S tier. Not too much to know about her, but all we know, more or less good things, I guess you could argue. So we'll put her there. Next we got Renalla. So like the sister, mother of quite a few people in here. We shall ignore that she had an ex-husband. The stepchildren all seem chill, you know, so that's fine. Also to ignore like the obvious problems they had. I say, I mean, she's high. Like, she really seemed to love her husband. Got a bit too depressed, so like, if you meet her after him, like, it's gonna be hard to get over, and she'll have a lot of trauma of you, like, also leaving her. But, like, she helps you as the Tarnished. I feel like she's another S tier, I'd argue. Maybe even the highest S tier. I feel like she'd be a really good partner. Plus her children, really. Especially, like, Rani coming in there defending her mother. Like, she's a good person. She's like highest one. Then we got Rykard. If you wanna view him in his human form before the snake thing, you can. But I think we gotta like look at both aspects. Like, you know, he was more of a party person, going around traveling. He's got a wife and daughter. I feel like he was a good husband. He was fun to be around, definitely. Like, you wanted to be friends with this guy. He grew kind of obsessed with like the whole devouring everything. So I feel like that could be a turn off. But like, other than that, like with the volcano banner, I feel like you also have a really good life, if not one of the best, in terms of like house, partner, entertainment, meeting nice people, friends. But you know, there is kind of the whole snake devouring thingy. But like, his wife also seemed to love him a lot. Trying to like more or less eat him, maybe to revive him. I don't know, it was weird to watch it happen. I say he could be yes to S tier. I feel like he may be a cheater. Like he was a ladies' man. I think like with the whole snake thing, if it happens, it would put him like lower, like Messmer, if not C, maybe even Bayle here, because I feel like at some point he'd eat you. But we'll just look at this a bit more human form. I think we'll put him A to B tier, because you know we also ignored it on Radahn, like his whole going insane thingy. I see lower A, because the snake thing is more likely to happen than Radahn's insane thingy. But also because of the whole ladies' man, maybe he'd cheat, you know. I think like A tier is good, maybe a bit more on the lower side. Because I just remembered, Rani isn't a remembrance boss, we won't be adding her. But she'd be like high S. Not yes tier, because she kind of uses you, I feel like. But like, you do marry her, so that's like this. But you know, she shouldn't be in here. I just wanted to state that. Romina, also not too much on her. Other than she was a victim of like Messmer's campaign, like Rampage, where her church was kind of burned down, and apparently she like used the Scarlet Rod to kind of gain power, which transformed her into this parasitic creature. You know, she was a victim. We don't know much about her. Like, she's gonna have some trauma, but like she also has a bit of a human half. I'd say we put her like together with the dancing lion. I think maybe below the dancing lion. I think she's got more trauma than him. I think we just put her there. There's not much to say. Other than that, you know, we just got the note here. I think Astel's gonna stay there because he kinda scares me. Elden Beast all together with like the next two, like the regional ancestor spirit, the Scadutree. Metyr also stay there because, you know, they're kind of weird creatures. Miquella will also stay there, just looks too young. Also really manipulative. So I probably would have put like D tier anyway if he was older or looked older. Metyr, same as the three before here. Yeah, just like same on the Pertruscent Knight. Other than that, I think I'm pretty happy with the list. Like, yes tier I'm definitely happy with. S tier also. I guess you could argue S tier is also one of those finicky ones where it's like potentially you could put them in S tier, but also you could potentially just put them lower. But I guess that's alright. I'm also defensive of Rellana because we don't know the most about her. A tier, it's pretty solid, I'd say. You know, like, I have to admit I was a bit more uneven on ranking some, like Rykard. I put his snake form a bit more into consideration, putting him a bit lower. But I think A tier is alright, you know, they're good options, I'd say. B is also chill. I think I'm pretty happy with B tier. I think Messmer's gonna be one of the most argued one of people either putting him like way lower, like D or F, or maybe even S tier. But I think I'll keep him here. C tier is also chill. It's just for the people that seem alright, but also don't have too much lore, and I guess Maliketh. But you know, yeah, I can't imagine him putting him that much higher for some reason. I mean, I can definitely understand him if you want to put him higher. For some reason, I just can't see him any higher than this. Lastly, we got Bayle anger issues. If you're into that kind of thing, also can place him higher. Egon would argue against it. So, and I like Egon, so he'll stay in like D tier. Wouldn't be F tier. But yeah, I think that's the tier list. Overall, you can definitely make some changes. I'd love to hear about them in the comments, but other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time or in one of the older videos. Bye bye!